13 NFL seasons, 4 Pro Bowls, Michael Vick. I got to tell you, when I watch, let's start with Trubisky. The NFL, when you came to the league, you were the outlier. And there was a lot of people that said, until you got there, you're running around stuff. Steve Young did a little bit. You can't run around. Now, if you don't have mobility, people aren't interested. I'm watching Mitch Trubisky last night. He's a pretty good runner, right?
Yeah, he can move. I seen that in North Carolina, and I knew that would be a big asset for him, especially being with Matt Nagy. I knew that Matt would find a way to utilize him. Yeah, he was in Kansas City, and he was also in Philadelphia with us, through our little 4 or 5 year run. And, Matt always showed signs of being a great coach. He's gotten better over the years, and when I was with him in Kansas City, he spoke a different language. So the way Mitch Trubisky has been playing over the last couple of weeks is a testament to Matt Nagy knowing how to use his quarterback.
By the way, he's a better athlete than a thrower. Is that fair?
What's that?
I think Trubisky's a better athlete right now than he is a thrower.
Yeah, and I think he's doing whatever works right now. And, being a second-year quarterback, it's almost like, however I have to move the changes, that's how I'm going to get it done.
Just move the change.
I respect that. And as him and Matt grow together, he'll become a better quarterback. He'll become more polished. He'll understand the dynamics of the game, and this will be a marriage that'll last for a long time. And he should evolve and get better, as time goes on.
So Cam, I defended Cam. I thought he played well yesterday, and I like teams if I have an MVP level quarterback, I'm going to go for it most of the time. Andrew Luck. If I have Russell Wilson, if I have Brady, I'm mostly a go-for-it guy. Yeah. You didn't love going for it.
I didn't like it. I'm an overtime type of guy. I like the fact that you have an opportunity to win, and you get the ball at some point. I mean, it wasn't like that in the past, so you kind of had to go for it. So, having the opportunity to go for it now, I think, even yesterday, I mean, it just wasn't the time for it. Whether your offense is playing well or not playing well, defense can't stop, the opposition. Then you say, okay, this is a desperation situation. Let's go for 2.
You never liked going for the 2.
No, I just like the end of the game. You see my overtime run back in the day, things don't always happen like that. I got lucky. And I just feel like Cam could have done the same thing.
If you'd have gone to overtime, you'd have
had a chance.
You'd had Cam
to win the game,
playing better of the 2 quarterbacks.
Yes.
Let me ask you this: when you go in these go-for-it situations, do you think Carolina had a play specifically for that moment?
Well, I think every team has 2 to 3 plays just in case you reach that point in the game, that juncture where it's a 2-minute or it's an opportunity to go for 2 points. You have to have some in your back pocket, but you have to believe in it. But it's a hit or miss. If you get it, great. If not, it's a bummer. And I just hate the fact that the game boils down to one play. I think you give yourself a plethora of plays, an opportunity to get a drive and go down the field and score.
Lamar Jackson was better than I thought he would be. What'd you make of it?
I thought it was a great game yesterday. Obviously, you can't run the ball 27 times and sustain in the National
What was the most you ever
League.
ran it?
I think the most I've run was 15 times in a football game.
That's it?
Yeah, I never ran for maybe in a 2-game span close to 27 carries, but that's still a lot on your body. It takes a toll on you. And I can almost guarantee you that next week will not look the same. It won't be nowhere close. And Lamar should not want that, nor should Monty Morningwick.
When you run as many times as he does, and he took 1 or 2 shots, is he running right now? Because, listen, man, first start, Bengals got Marvin Lewis, defensive guy, throwing a bunch of stuff. How much in a perfect game, Michael, how much did you want to run?
Maybe 10 times on average.
Now when I say that, were these design runs or you're ad-libbing?
Ad-libbing runs. Maybe 10, because I knew at some point I was going to get some pressure, escape, use my ability to be effective in the game. Design runs, as I got older, we didn't have as many. When I was young, we were going the game with maybe 7 or 8 different runs that we can call multiple times. But as I got older, I wanted at least amount of runs in the game plan because I didn't want to put myself in jeopardy or harm's way. When you're young and you're 22, 23 years old, you can handle it. But as you get into year 5 and year 6 and year 7, your body don't feel the same. So you have to preserve your body and not want to do as much. But, if this working for him right now and it's a great asset for him to have, then you can do it to get by. But ultimately, he has to get better in the passing game.
So tonight we have the Rams-Chiefs. It will be crazy.
Yeah.
Kansas City's weapons are – the very few teams have better offensive weapons than the Rams. Kansas City's one of those teams. Now, Andy Reid very well. Andy Reid weren't a lot of takers.
Yeah.
He put his hand up and said, I want Michael Vick in Philadelphia. You say he changed your life.
Yeah.
To talk about Andy Reid for a couple of minutes tell my audience, what did he teach you? Why is he great? What will people see tonight?
Well, tonight you'll see explosiveness. And Andy, you better believe, has cooked up some things that will take advantage of what the L.A. Rams do on defense. I can assure you of that. He spends countless nights making sure that he has the right game plan for his quarterback to go out and be effective. And for me, not only did he change my life, and changed my game, he made me see life in a different form. I took on a different perspective, a more work-hard approach and believe in yourself type of approach. And, you're only going to get out of anything as much as you put in. And, for me, it was my profession and trying to be the best quarterback that I could be. But he told me that I had to work for it. And that was the promise that we made to each other, that I made to him and we both made to each other when I first came in. I promised him that I'd work hard. He promised me he'll be the best coach that he could be. And that player-coach relationship really was probably the reason I felt like I couldn't fail on the field. And I did everything I could to, help our team be as good as we could.
When you look at Patrick Mahomes, I mean, of all these quarterbacks, you got Russell Wilson, Mitch Trubisky, Deshaun Watson. I mean, there's a million of them. Is there one, Patrick Mahomes, is there one that you do feel aligned with? Like you kind of feel like if you could do it over again, you kind of feel like that's me.
I would say Deshaun Watson. I think Patrick is very dynamic. He don't run the ball as much. He tends to pass first.
Well, he's got a huge arm.
A huge arm, and he believes in it. He got a great coach cooking things up for him to help him spread the ball around. But I think Deshaun's offense looks not as sophisticated. It's not conservative, but it's good enough for him. And I felt like when I first came in the league, my coaches did enough that was, good enough for us to go out and execute the game plans and be good doing it. And I kind of see that in Deshaun. Billick does a great job of putting him in positions where he can be successful and where he can go out and not, have a lot of pressure on himself. He got DeAndre Hopkins and he can turn around and hand it off to his backs. He had 2 of them. So, I think that was our style of play. I had Warwick Dunn,
Roddy
White, T.J. Duckett. So I had some guys around me, but we lean more on the run game and then pass second.
When you look at the NFL now, that it is, the rules are all offense. It's incredible. The rules are all offense. And, I look at a situation like Aaron Rodgers. We all know Aaron's great. But he and McCarthy, listen, sometimes, and this is what I was told this weekend, they just don't share the same vision.
Yeah.
They just don't see the world the same.
Yeah.
And you've been in situations, you and Andy Reid totally clicked.
Right.
But you've also been in situations, Moore was more of a defensive coach.
Yeah.
And I'm not calling out Jim. What happens when you get into a situation that is what I'm told McCarthy and Rodgers is, where you've been together a long time, it is not as tight, and you don't share the same vision? What's Aaron going through?
Well, it's the old saying that all good things come to an end. But I think, at some point you take a look at what's going on outside of your organization and throughout the league. And
did you used to watch what's happening elsewhere?
Yeah, and I wanted to sometimes pattern out offenses, around, what I was seeing around the league and try to share that input. But I think Aaron is taking a look around him, seeing that, things are looking a lot easier
Chicago.
in other places.
Can you imagine him
Chicago.
watching that game last night, Michael?
Yeah, and just knowing that he can do that and his ability, understanding that, look, this game is not that hard. When you're a professional, it shouldn't be as hard, especially when you can, build the offense around, your knowledge and your experience. And I think that's very important. And Aaron has played for a number of years, and he knows offense, and he knows how to manipulate defenses. And I think it's time for him to start doing things a different way, maybe doing it his own way. I take into account, when I was in Pittsburgh and watching Big Ben come to work every day and throw out ideas. Ben took an approach to the game where he wanted to make it not just easy, but easy for everyone to understand and go out and execute. So it was always back and forth with him and Todd Haley, but good back and forth. And they was able to find some common ground at the end of the day. And it made the game a lot easier and simplified. And, I give Ben credit for always trying to find a way to make the guys around him better and be productive.
And by the way, Ben would spar with his coaches. Yesterday, John Gruden and Derek Carr sparred. Ben would go back and forth. We've seen Brady yell at coaches. Yeah. We saw Gruden yesterday. Did you ever get into a spat with a coach?
Yeah, I got into it with Dan Reeves my second year. Yeah, I had to go to him at some point in my second year and just let him know, like, Coach, I need you to call the plays that's in the game plan. And call them and believe in me and know that I can go out and execute them in the passing game. And we got into a riff on the sideline, and they had to break it up. And, I wasn't the most vocal guy. I was only 22 years old at the time.
No, when I first met you, you're not totally vocal.
Yeah, so I felt like it was a need for me to step up in that moment in order for our team to be successful. And I did it. He changed his play calling. He got more aggressive. We won 8 straight. And sometimes, you need that. It's kind of therapeutic for the relationship.
Good seeing you, buddy.
Good seeing you.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.